Welcome back to the channel, ladies and gentlemen. This is the ISO GOAT here, back again for another quick video. Let me start this by saying I'm not a financial advisor, nor do I have financial experience in anything solely based off my opinions or anything that I say in this video until you've done your own due diligence and your own research first. Never throw in more money than you're willing to lose, and also make sure you have a firm understanding of crypto before throwing in any kind of money. First thing, sorry about that. Just wanted to shout out Crypto Lou. Thank you so much for the merch, my friend. You guys can check it down in the description as well. I will leave it for you so that way if you guys want to order something as well, you can. Got a couple announcements for you guys. First thing, I have a couple screenshots. These are all posted on my page so you guys can use your own discernment. Look at it, take a look, see this information that they're throwing out there to the public. First thing is from Goldman Sachs. It's a very old post, but it shows basically accelerating use cases in regards to the opportunities and payments. It shows Circle, Ripple, and Coinbase, and it has like a little description and everything in regards to Ripple. Banks join RippleNet to process cross-border payments in real time with end-to-end tracking and certainty. Available in 55 plus countries, that's probably more now at this point. Across different continents, RippleNet makes it easy to connect and transact across a robust network of financial institutions. My apologies. With RippleNet, financial institutions can expand payment offerings into new markets that are otherwise difficult or expensive to reach. RippleNet technology is going to be very important in the near future. ODL, on-demand liquidity, will also be very important in the very near future. Next thing. Shout out to Wall Street Silver for this post. What are central banks preparing for? Recent amounts of gold purchases collectively. Apparently, it's a lot higher than it has been in the past. I think there's a reason that banks are loading up on gold. This goes into Basel III, Basel IV, etc. You guys can look into that yourself. So I'm not going to harp too much on it. Next thing. I mentioned this in a video already, but I just want to give you guys a reminder. A blockchain platform built by Russia's largest bank institution, Sber, S-B-E-R, has been used to issue digital assets based on gold. The value of the tokenized precious metal will depend on the price of physical gold, the bank said, emphasizing that the operation is a first. Right now, we are currently in a debt-based society, especially here in the United States, and debt is out of control globally. I think a lot of these are going to go to asset-backed in regards to countries. Probably more and more countries are going to be announcing this, in my opinion, like I said, that they're going asset-backed as opposed to focusing on debt, etc. Just a thought, like I said, and as we know, BRICS is working on a brand new financial institution. I say this in literally every single video. If you haven't caught on to that, look at some of these partnerships and some of these different countries that are jumping on board with BRICS. You'll see exactly what I'm talking about. Next thing, shout out to Caleb. Actually, no, I'm going to skip that one. I've already posted that one. Shout out to 801 XRP. Pham Nelly Lang, the U.S. should consider, Pham Nelly Lang, this is a quote, my apologies. The U.S. should consider a CBDC, and over the long run, one could imagine some financial and economic decisions could be tied to the technological efficiencies of a payment mechanism of the asset, the bearer asset, could be tied to the convenience. So there's a little video, a little excerpt. It's not too long of a video. It's posted on my page as well. I sent you guys the link so you can look at it. Like I said, take whatever grains of information you want from that video. Up to you. Next thing, this is just for perspective. This is the post that I put not too long ago. It looks like Zach Rector put it on his page. Definitely appreciate it sincerely. So here's a perspective for y'all for food for thought. There are about 4.5 million XRP wallets. You can look this up. There's an XRP rich list that you can look this up and verify. A lot of folks have multiple wallets, but 3.5 million accounts with 500 or less XRP. Okay, so that's a pretty good lion's share right there. A little over 200,000 hold 10,000 to 100,000 XRP. That's just to remind you guys of perspective. I know a lot of people worry about, hey, is my bag big enough? Should I be buying more? At the end of the day, it's whatever you can afford and what you feel is substantial and will be, necessary in the near future. I mean, I can't speak for anybody else. That's up to you and your budget, okay? I'm still personally buying myself, so that's just me. Like I said, you don't have to do what I do. If you feel comfortable where you're at, all power to you. At the end of the day, we are ahead of 99% of the world, okay? 99%. Way ahead of them, okay? We are literally the visionaries. I say this in every single video. Like, we are the visionaries. We see the big picture, so whatever you feel comfortable with, that's entirely up to you in regards to some of these ISO assets, utility assets, whatever you invest in. Nobody can make that decision for you. Just keep that in mind, okay? Next thing, this is actually a response on Core from David Schwartz, who's the CTO at Ripple. This is posted on my page verbatim as well, so you can see it. So the question was, Why does the XRP token need to have value, parentheses price, for it to be used on the Ripple network by banks if it will be adopted? Can it be used even with zero value? Response: no, it can't be used unless it has sufficient value and liquidity. Or, to be more precise, the more value and liquidity it has, the broader the range of payments it can be used to settle. Obviously, if they're trying to tackle high value payments, you're going to need a high price in order to tackle that. They're probably going to start smaller with a microcosm, and then they're going to start gradually getting bigger in regards to some of these payments that they're doing globally. Just a thought. Back to what he said. The easiest way to see why this is so is to think about Bitcoin. 4 years ago, you couldn't buy a house with Bitcoin. You can today. But it would be very hard to settle a $1 billion payment with Bitcoin. If Bitcoin's price ever goes to 1 million, you could then settle a 1 billion payment with it. Okay, so it basically gives a perspective. It uses Bitcoin as an example. Just food for thought, like I said, take it how you want to. These are not my words. I'm just bringing it to the forefront so that way you can interpret it yourself. Next thing. Shout out to Bailey Edwards. You're always dropping some information on my Twitter. So just sharing this. This is actually a diagram in regards to 2022. It just says, just resharing this from the Wall Street Bull OZ. Crazy year passed, and I'm sure it'll be another hectic one this year round as well. All in all, know what you really hold. And it talks about, different events and stuff that took place over the course of the year. It starts in March, then it goes all the way down to December. You got the SEC finds BlockFi, the Ronin hack, the CFTC sues Gemini, SEC investigating Binance. That should be interesting. Coinbase cuts 18% of its staff. MicroStrategy Sailor drops CEO role. There's a lot of pretty interesting events. Like I said, I think a lot of this is, theater, however you want to look at it, but I think they're all tied together and they have a plan in the end. A lot of these things are planned well in advance before they actually come to fruition. This is just a thought. Some people might think they willy-nilly decide, hey, you know what? We're going to do a brand new system tomorrow. It doesn't work that way. You have to lay the tracks first. You have to plan this ahead. You have to plan for the ups, the downs, anything that can go wrong, essentially. So just something to look at and food for thought. Like I said, that's a very interesting diagram. I posted it on my page, so you can just scroll down under my communities tab. You can see exactly what I'm talking about. Next thing, shout out to Digital Asset News. I just heard of a top 10, take this, let me just say this. Take these tweets and posts with a grain of salt. Obviously do your own research as well on top of it. I just thought it was interesting, so I decided to bring it to you guys. From Digital Asset News, I just heard of a top 20 crypto project that is going to receive a letter of no action from the SEC in 2023. This basically means the project will be labeled as not a security. What do you think will happen to the price of that asset? Hint, it's not Bitcoin. Obviously, we don't, you can read into it however you want to, take it with a grain of salt, like I always say. Like I said, I try to bring, facts and everything to the table, but, it's just interesting, some of these tweets, okay? They caught my eye, so I figured I'd share with you guys. Next thing, shout out to Crypto Vinso. Just in, Cameron Winklevoss, this is the Winklevoss twins who are over the Gemini exchange, if I'm not mistaken, sent an open letter to the Digital Currency Group CEO Barry Silbert, saying Genesis used malicious distraction tactics and owes them over $900 million, giving Barry Silbert a deadline of January 8th. Sounds like he ran off on the plug twice, but yeah, not quite sure what's going on right there, but it seems like somebody's out of money. Don't know. Like I said, look into it yourself. I'm going to skip that one. That was on my page. This one was actually interesting, so shout out to Kurt for this. He posted this on my Twitter as well, about the movie Glass Onion, and I just wanted to share this excerpt with you guys. Use your own discernment, like I always tell you guys, okay? So I don't know if you guys have seen the Glass Onion. I actually saw it this last weekend. It was pretty good, I guess, no complaints. But it is essentially how Glass Onion begins. Johnson wanted the film's title to refer to something plain or hidden in plain sight. He chose glass because it is clear and searched his phone for songs with the word. He landed on Glass Onion by the Beatles, and as a fan of the band, picked it as the title. I find it interesting, and I think it can be applicable today too as well. I feel like a lot of these things are hidden in plain sight. A lot of the, the masses, the normies, however you want to look at it, they don't see all these things, okay? They're not looking into these things. They're not putting two and two together. They're not, connecting this dot with this dot. And sometimes it does take some connections, They're not always going to explicitly say, hey, we are going to do this. But, I do find it interesting because I feel like a lot of things are hidden in plain sight. And I think Ripple, like I said, is going to be big in the very near future. This is just my thoughts, like I said, based off the research I bring to the table. I try to bring facts along with documentation so you guys can look at it yourself. Use your own discernment, interpret it how you want. But I don't think this is out of left field feeling that way. But like I said, just my thoughts. Next thing, shout out to Gold Telegraph. There is more than $80 trillion in hidden debts held by shadow banks and non-U.S. banks. Oh, this is not going to be good. There are $650 billion in bonds and loans in distressed territory. We have unregulated stablecoins worth tens of billions. 2023. I'm sure we will hear the word liquidity often. I'm not even going to play off that. You already know what I'm thinking, so we're going to skip that for now. Shout out to Kurt for this one again. So this is actually a diagram. It was posted on my page as well as on my Twitter. If you guys don't follow me on there. I do post some information as well there. It basically shows Circle, USD coin, and it shows some of the different options in regards to pairs. It has Algorand listed there, Tron, Stellar, Hedera, Ethereum, Flow, Avalanche, as well as Solana. And then apparently soon will be CeeLo, Polkadot, Stacks, Nervous, Nervos, never heard of that one, and Kava. Just an interesting diagram. You guys can look at it, interpret it yourself. Next thing, this is from Stanford, apparently. Fast and secure global payments with Stellar. I'm not going to go too far into it. I mean, the title should tell you enough. Obviously, the Stellar blockchain is involved in that. It is posted on my page along with the link, so if you want to peruse the article, there's 17 pages. Take the time, look through it, use your own interpretations, and, go from there. Shout out to Real XRP Fanboy. We are currently building an identity system on top of Ripple's distributed ledger that stores KYC information, provides space for third-party attestations, and can manage any number of financial or other accounts. Use case, that's all I'm going to say. Use case. Next thing, what is this one? I'm going to skip that one for now. There's also a timeline for XRP Healthcare. I mentioned it probably like 7 videos back. I don't know at this point, to be honest, but basically building on the XRP ledger. It involves healthcare if you're interested in that field, so you can look at that. They show a little diagram, time frame, shows from September all the way up until Q2 2023. So if that's something that interests you, definitely take a look at it. It is posted on my page as well, so you can look at it. Shout out to Rocket_boy. This is a very interesting video that really gives you perspective, at least myself. I know it gave me some perspective. And basically what it says, opportunity of a lifetime, ISO 20022, XLM, HBAR, IOTA, XDC Network, XRP Algo, and the king of them all, Quant. You all going to take this opportunity for your kids and make it happen. And there's basically a video. I think it's like 2 minutes if I'm not mistaken. Definitely take time to look at it. It's something that might put things in perspective for you. For those that don't quite understand ISO 20022. It looks into market cap, things like that. But it is interesting. I'm not gonna lie. So shout out to him for that. I'm going to skip that. Shout out to Black Swan Capitalists. Love your videos. They are fire. So I did repost this tweet. The Fed is actively involved in dethroning the dollar because they are looking for an exit out of fiat currency. And that's why they are discreetly funneling billions into blockchain technology. #XRP. I've said this ad nauseum. There's people out here that are trying to give you these gems, and I definitely think Black Swan Capitalists is for sure one of them. So, just a thought. Like I said, you can interpret it how you want. There's plenty of documentation to support that mindset. So, what do I have next? Shout out to Mr. Man XRP. Russian land will be all on the blockchain. Elimination of digital divide is one of the priority projects of the Ministry of Digital Development. There's an article. It's also posted on my page. Shout out to him as well. It's on my Twitter too, if I'm not mistaken. I think I retweeted it. So if you want to look at it, take the time and look at the document. I mentioned this one already, but I think Crypto Lou also dropped this as well. Algorand chosen as public blockchain to support digital guarantees platform in Italy. I think I did a video on this like 3 videos ago, maybe, or 4. Can't remember. But very interesting. Algorand use case ISO 2002. There's some people that say it's not. Cool. All power to you. I've seen documentation that does show that. So interpret it how you want. Like I said, you're left up to your own interpretation. What else do I have for y'all? Here we go. Shout out to Derek Mensch. If 99% of crypto projects go to $0, that leaves 221. In my opinion, people that say big market caps could never reach a certain price, they may want to think again. The outflow of money from those dead 21,982 projects will have to go somewhere. This is going to be important, I think, in the future. I've mentioned this too. I know Brad Garlinghouse has said 99% will probably go to 0. That money has to go somewhere. And if it does decide to stay in the market, it's probably going to be funneling into some of these utility tokens, tokens. I just say tokens, but digital assets, however you want to look at it. Some of these utility digital assets, that's just my opinion, like I said, and a lot of people focus so much on market cap. You know, market cap means nothing, okay? When utility comes to play, market cap means nothing. Okay, right now we are in a very young market. We're in a market that has no regulation, no clarity. Once some of these pump and dumps are gone and you only have the cream of the crop at the bottom of the barrel, you're gonna have options. But you're not gonna have as many options as you have right now. So these 21,000, yeah, probably not gonna be 21,000 in the future. Some people might think it's gonna be here forever. Cool, all power to you. Like I said, right now it's a speculative market. When utility comes in, trust me, it's gonna command the control of the room, okay? This is just my opinions, like I said. And do I have anything else? Yes, a couple more things. Shout out to Watcher Guru Justin. ANC Pharmacy, one of the largest pharmacy chains in Ukraine, partners with Binance to accept crypto payments at 1,100 locations. Not going to touch too much on Binance. We're going to skip that one. Going to skip that. This is going to be in the article I'm talking about. Brad Garlinghouse actually tweeted as well. Today is the first of the 118th Congress. While prior efforts at regulatory clarity for crypto in the U.S. have stalled, I am cautiously optimistic that 2023 is the year we will, in parentheses, finally see a breakthrough. And there's basically a thread in regards to that. So it seems like Brad is pretty upbeat and kosher with everything going on. So I don't know. Maybe we'll have some surprises in 2023. Who knows? That I don't know. But I'm just going based off what he said in his verbiage. Next thing, Sam Bankman-Fried pleads not guilty to all charges in FTX fraud case. Like, I don't even know what to say at this point. Like, this is crazy. Like, like, is his attorney like, say it wasn't you? All right. Yeah, the Feds really caught me red-handed, stealing all the money next door. Like, how? This man is literally caught red-handed with everything going on. He's literally staying in his parents' basement right now, playing Call of Duty. No, I'm sorry. He was just flown in New York, if I'm not mistaken. My apologies. But he was playing Call of Duty before. And there's no repercussions whatsoever. I guess the question is whether or not he will get off. I think we'll see. I think he has some ties to a lot of higher up people, however you want to look at it. So it will be interesting to see how this plays out. But like I said, I just think this is comical at this point because it's really? Seriously? Maybe this is just me feeling that way, but it could just be me. Anyways, so that's all I got for y'all in regards to that aspect. I just wanted to bring up an old document as well. So the document is World Economic Forum 2022. SWIFT probably won't exist in 5 years, says Mastercard CEO. Kind of gives you a general idea of where this is going to go, but it is an older article, just as a heads up, before somebody's like, hey, this is from 2021, or hey, this is not from this year. It's an older article. Just letting you know, I just wanted to bring it back up. For some people that haven't seen it or gone through it, definitely something to take a look at. So Mastercard CEO Michael, what's his name, Maybach, said basically that he doesn't think SWIFT will be here in 5 years. Now, whether he thinks something replaces SWIFT, that, he kind of goes into, I guess he kind of goes into detail in the article in regards to that, but he doesn't think it's going to be here in regards to cross-border payments, And, I think Ripple right now is trying to position themselves so that way they can overtake SWIFT, in my opinion. I know they say, hey, we're trying to work with the system, but it's like, it's more efficient, it's less costly, it's, there's a lot of benefits of using it versus SWIFT. I mean, SWIFT, their failure rate is 6%? Like, imagine sending your money to someone in another country and you're missing some of your money, 6% of the time. Like, how angry would you be? The whole point of being able to send money globally is to make it fast, efficient, not costly, and right now, Nostro Vostro banking, it's not very cheap, so it's like, I find it kind of interesting, his take in regards to that, but he was basically speaking at Davos conference, which was adjacent to the World Economic Forum in 2022, back in Switzerland, and they basically asked each of the panelists, hey, do you think SWIFT's going to be here in 5 years? You answer yay, nay, whatever, and he said, he doesn't think it's going to happen. There were other people that actually agreed too, but here we go. The response was not expected, given his position at Mastercard and that the panelists before him, including John Frost, a senior economist at the Bank of International Settlements, they're very big, by the way, and Jennifer Lassiter, executive director of the Digital Dollar Project, an organization tasked with exploring a United States CBDC, answered in the affirmative. Other panelists following I'm gonna say Maybach. I'm just gonna say Maybach. I don't know how to pronounce it. Also took the affirmative viewpoint, including Yuval Roots, CEO of Digital Asset, a data technology company, and David Treat, director of Accenture. Accenture's going to be big. And co-lead of the company's blockchain business. So it basically goes into that. Then they tried talking to him afterwards, and I guess he didn't really have time for them. Who knows? But apparently, Swift processed 42 million messages per day last year. But transactions on the network right now can take several days, which I mentioned. I think it's like average 5 to 7 business days, somewhere around there. So it's not very efficient whatsoever, and it needs a tune-up. So just something to keep in mind in regards to that. To this end, Swift has been exploring the use of CBDCs, which we see other countries are doing too, to facilitate seamless cross-border payments since as early as May 2021, and when it released a joint paper with Accenture looking at how digital currencies can help cross-border payments. I'm going to read that one more time. To this end, Swift has been exploring the use of CBDCs to facilitate seamless cross-border payments since as early as May 2021, when it released a joint paper with Accenture looking at how digital currencies can help cross-border payments. Let me say it louder. Cross-border payments. Article continues. So then it goes into breaking stereotypes at Davos, and it shows a Swift tweet, and this should really say it all, but whatever. We're collaborating with Capgemini, this is straight from Swift, by the way, to explore how Swift can interlink the multiple domestic-based CBDC networks emerging worldwide to make cross-border payments. Wait, did it say messages? I'm sorry. Cross-border payments with digital currencies more seamless and frictionless. And that's straight from them. So very interesting article. Like I said, use your own discernment. You can interpret it how you want. That's all I got for y'all today. Definitely, stay the course. If you're still stacking, keep stacking. All power to you. That's what I'm doing myself. At the end of the day, there's going to come a day when time is going to run out, okay? So that's all I got for y'all today. Like, comment, subscribe. Sorry, it's a little bit longer of a video. ISO gold out. I will catch you on another video. Thanks so much.